So good afternoon all. It gives immense pleasure to deliver welcome address in the webinar. My hearty welcome to our Vice Chairman Engineer E.V. Kumaran. I welcome our Registrar Dr. R. Satyaseelar. My warm welcome to our beloved Principal Dr. R. Ravichandran. I extend my warm welcome to today's chief guest, Thiru Varadaraja D., Deputy General Manager, Tata Motors Limited, Pune. Welcome you, sir. I welcome IISc Convener, Dr. M. Jyotish Kumar. My hearty welcome to all the faculty members and students. And today we are having an eminent personality with us. I am very happy to introduce our chief guest profile, Thiru Varadaraja D. He is having 17 years of experience in prototype development, process planning of powertrains, cost estimation, computer-aided manufacturing, tooling, and project management. And is having previously he worked in Outland Technologies Private Limited, and having a additional strength of the Master Cam software, Gear Cam software, optimizing cutting parameters of tools, basic knowledge in AP100 and a sheetwork software for turret punch process. And achievements, if you see that, faster development of gears 2 to 3 hours per gear as per new gear data by implementing Innova milling strategy with the desired DAN quality. And implemented plateau honing operation on vertical machining center, first time in India. Won first prize in the innovation completion for developing helical gears without using hub, eventually reduced the development time for initial prototypes of entire gearbox. Also protected the copyright for the same. So there are a lot of points are available regarding our chief guest. So we are having today the eminent personality, and I am very happy to say that he is alumni of Aruna Engineering College. So we are very happy to see you, sir. And he did MS in BITS Blaney. So I welcome you once again for this webinar, sir. And once again, I welcome you all for this webinar. I request all the students utilize these opportunities and interact with the chief guest to clear your doubts and things. Thank you very much. Now I request our principal to facilitate the gathering. Please, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, one and all. So it's my pleasure to participate in this August webinar on my story. So one of our prestigious alumni of our Aruna Engineering College has been invited as chief guest of this great function. I welcome Mr. D. Varadaraja, who is the chief guest. And I welcome all the professors, head of the departments of mechanical engineering, computer science and engineering, and other heads to this function. So the reason why the alumni of our previous alumni of our college, why they are invited, it's because so one thing, the talented alumni have got wealth of experience and skills to deliver and share with the current students of our college. The other thing, they are able to offer to support our students, practically help them build their career in future, and they can make a reconnection and give back something to their alma mater and expand their leverage of our present students and make them get some advantage in their life and career. So in this motto, we have invited not only that Mr. D. Varadaraja has got a very great interest over our institution, wants to deliver something to his parent organization. That's why he is invited. Mr. D. Varadaraja, as head of the department said, is a deputy general manager of Tata Motors, has got rich experience of over 20 plus experience in various industries. Among them are Avalon Motors and Tata Motors are most notable one. He has got experience in CAD/CAM, design and development, power system engineering. So With this introduction, I welcome Mr. D. Varadaraja to deliver his August lecture to our alumni or to our current students. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for the session. I'm very pleased to have the session. I'm very fortunate to read, done my studies in AEC and Arun Engineering College. I could recollect all my memories actually. Ravi sir is there. So he is one of the lecturer when I was studying in my college days, that too in CAT camp. So that is my specialization. So thanks to Ravi sir to give such a basic information during my studies itself. So it has come to my blood actually. I want to be in CNC only, CNC machining kind of characteristics. So that's a very good interest given by Ravi sir during my tenure in the Arun Engineering College. And I need to mention our chairman, Mr. Eva Velu. He rightly identifies and the need in Tiruvannamalai district, maybe 25 to 30 years back, the education in Tiruvannamalai. So we used to tell him he's the father of education in our district. So he rightly identified and started the college that gives a lot of opportunity for the students who are very poor, who are living in and around of village of Tiruvannamalai. They got the opportunity to study the graduation, that too in Tiruvannamalai itself, or else we need to go to either to Vellore or we need to go to Chennai. So that will be more expensive. So it is a very affordable graduation we had in our city. So my sincere thanks to Eva Velu sir and all the registrars, Mr. Satyaseelan, Dr. Jayakumar, Dr. Jyotish Kumar, and our vice chairman, Mr. Kumaran. Okay, it's my pleasure to introduce myself. So I did my graduation from Arun Engineering College in the 1997 batch. So I completed 2001 batch. Post that I was working with NLC. I got one opportunity to do my graduate apprentice trainee in Naval and Ignore Corporations. So for 1 year. So post that I went to Avalon Technologies. That is a company which does the contract manufacturing to General Electricals. So I was there for a tool design. So I entered as a tool designer and started to do the contract manufacturing over there. And slowly the business is expanded. We built the in-house capacity to do the tools in-house itself. And I was there for nearly 4 years. Then post that I got the opportunity to work in automobile industry at Tata Motors. So it's a very, very big brand in India. So I went there. Fortunately, I got the opportunity to work in a CAT camp session. There, I start my career as a CNC programmer over there. In the span of around 5 years, 6 months, so I become the head of the CNC session over there. So this is my short introduction regarding my career. And post that actually, after spending around 12 years in machine shop, I went to PSC planning, that is power system planning. That is for prototype development. For prototype development, once the design is done, actually, we used to make the vehicles for the design validation. So for the design validation, we need to build the entire vehicle right from the scratch. So my responsibility lies in there is the development of the engine, gearbox, as well as the axles. So that three constitute called power system engineering. Okay, so this is my short introduction over there. Now, across industries, we have the buzzword called innovation. So we think innovation is a very big thing actually always. So what the innovation has to do, how we have to be an innovative person in our life. So let's see what is the innovation is actually first. Innovation, there is a lot of things, a lot of opinions, a lot of quotes are there for innovation. What is the purpose of the innovation? Okay, I'll just open my PPT. Give me some time. Again, some technical glitches. I'm extremely sorry. Today, a lot of problem is there in the network too. Okay, so let's go. What is the purpose of the innovation is? If you see in the broad level of innovation, the innovation purpose is to enhance the quality of the life and make the things affordable to the people in the world. So that is a broader aspect where we are working, we engineers are working, and most of the companies are working around this. So the main purpose of the innovation to enhance the quality of life by making the things affordable. And second thing is a simplification. How simple we can do the process, how to de-skill the process. If we have a very complicated process, how to make it very simple so that any person with a little training, he can do the innovation. And third point is it has to create some value in it actually. So innovation, it has to deliver some value so that it can be accountable. And final point is it will solve a customer problem. If you see a company called Google, if you see the mission of the company, what is the mission of the company? It says to organize the world in information and make it universally accessible and useful. So this is a broad level of the mission they do have. So this is a mission they do have. So all the employees in the Google are work towards this goal, and they have come up with a lot of products. You can see Google Lens is there. What we are meeting now, Google Meet is there. So it gives the information universally available and make it accessible and the useful way and very simple way. And if you see other good companies like the Ford. So what happened? Automobile industries were booming in the 1930s and 1940s. There, the mass production of the vehicle is a major question. How to make it a mass production? Then Ford has identified rightly, we move them automation lines. So here the build will move and people will be stationary. So such kind of thought is brought by him. So what the yield of this result is, if you want to assemble the vehicle in that time, actually it takes around 12 hours to do one vehicle. So due to his innovation, one vehicle can be completed in 1 hour 33 minutes. So he has brought some mass production philosophy in the automobile industry and entirely changed the automobile world. Now the cars are made in the world class using the same technology as a base actually now. This is one company what we see. Now we'll go to the third company what it is. It's a Sony actually. If you see the Sony electronic products and all, way back in some 25 years, 30 years back, we used to have tape recorders over there and radio over there. And those are very bulky ones. So they want to make the things very portable one, make the convenient and the portable things. So they came across a platform called Walkman platform. So where they do have cassettes also and in CD drive also, very compact things they brought in. So their innovation was towards the mission, making things more compatible and it can be taken by the person when they go for a walk. So such kind of innovation they were in. And if you see the some of the companies who does this some kind of innovation, you can see the Disney. So Disney has made the first animation movie in the world. So when he does the animation movie, a lot of people are thinking it's like a joke, so it won't work. Now the animation industry is a much desired and needful industry, we can tell. So such kind of things are happening in Disney. So it's keep on going on actually. So this is the purpose of innovation, where the broad level mission we saw actually how the company is taking forward. So what is innovation is about? So innovation, it can be anything actually. So it can be like designing it and developing a jet engine, or a small tiny improvements what you do in the production lines. So it need not to be the innovation means it has to be in a big forum, like a discrete innovation and all. So it can be anything which is small improvements. What is simplification? What you do is accounted as an innovation. So how we can train ourselves or take ourselves towards this kind of innovation that we'll see. Now we are in college actually, and we are studying a lot of new things. There is technical things. We have a lot of subjects with us, like materials engineering. We have thermodynamics. We have a lot of subjects. So in those subjects, we are learning for the 4 years. When we come out of the college, and very sad thing nowadays, people are not that much strong in the basics. So they can speak a lot of unders about the IoT and all, and the basics of the innovation, that basics of the thinking, the clarity of the thought. Those things are missing a lot. So I request each and every students who are in this meet, so please be strong in your basics. What are the subject you want? What is the subject you like most? So start with the scratch over there from A, B, C, D, and be strong in the basics, because basics is the only way you can go for the betterment. And you should know very basic thing about your subject. When you are very strong in the basics, you can move forward with your confidence. The confidence gives you a lot of ideas to take it forward. So please note down to be strong in your basics. Don't what you call. You can go back to your school books, maybe 6th and 8th, 7th standard, 8th, 10th standard books. Go to the books and see the basics what it is. For an example, I'm telling for an example. So have the aluminum block of 1 meter, 1 meter by 1 meter. I have that block. So what is the weight of the block? So on which vehicle I can transport the block? If I have the MS block, whether the same vehicle can be used for this block. There is a lot of difference. It's a very basic thing I'm telling actually. So, so we engineers to be very strong in the basics. That will help us to do much more things in our future. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir, it is audible, sir.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So I couldn't make the presentation here, so I'm doubtful it's done or not. Okay. Now we see what are the drivers which drives for the innovation. Innovation, you should have a very open culture, communication culture. Then only the innovation comes to you. So I can tell my story when I was in Tata Motors, when I joined Tata Motors there. When I joined Tata Motors, I was in machine shop. So, you know, machine shop, we have full of operators. Okay, they may not know English. So I know only English. So you can know what my condition is. So I can only speak English. So I don't know Hindi, I don't know Marathi. So how to communicate with the people? That becomes the biggest challenge for me. So each and every time when I go to them, when I speak to them, there is a lot of communication gap. So there is a lot of there is a basic level of communication is breaking over there. So what I thought is actually, okay, let's do the programming over there in the month, around 6 months, and learn some Hindi language or Marathi language. So what I did is, so I become the programmer over there. So I don't used to go to the shop. So I used to do the programming. So meantime, I used to learn Hindi as well as Marathi. So if a person coming from the outside state and you speak Marathi, the people like in Maharashtra, they like you actually. So the one person is trying to attempt our language. That's a pride for them to do it actually. So such kind of things I did actually personally. So I used to speak to Marathi. Sometimes I used to give some grammar mistake and all, but that is okay actually. They used to correct me. So that by doing so, I got the friendship over there with all the operators. That is an essential thing. So whatever you want to do in any industry, you should be very friendly with your operators who are operating the machines or who are the base of that organization. So that I got that opportunity to take it over. So when I was there, actually, the cutters were used around 20 years old. Actually, there were some cutters which were open in the market. So I started to see what are the cutters available in the market currently, which can improve the productivity. And if you see the cutters which are available maybe 10 years back, if you see the RPM of the spindle and the feed, if you see the relation, the feed is always less than the RPM of the spindle. So that is the usual cutters, what the face milling cutters over there. And if you see the CAM strategy, there high feed machining came there. High feed machining, high speed machining, those kind of strategies came there. There you can run the cutter at high feed. Your RPM will be around 1600, but your cutter can run up to 7000 mm per minute. So that meters per minute. So that much of fast you can do the operation. So when we had a trial, there was a lot of confusion happened whether this cutters can work or how to do it actually, whether it will harm the machines or not. So only we had to do is a teamwork actually. So we had to call everyone and tell what the cutter is about. So we need, for any decision, we need to inform this is a cutter which has been introduced in the market. So this is the parameters of the cutter. This can be used on the machines. We have to make the consensus from the operators, supervisors, everything, and take a test run. So we take the test run there. Everyone is admired. Yes, these cutters can do. So once you prove yourself and once you introduce new things in your shop, the trust in you increases. That is the first point where you want to be an innovator. The people has to trust you actually. The person he is speaking something and that is making sense and it is possible. Let's try it. That feeling has to come from the base level of the operators. So such kind of small improvements we did in our team. So we form a team. We always have a brainstorming of what are the things can be done, what the things can be improved. For the things to be improved, we should always have a measure actually. So measure of activities, what gets measured gets improved. So you should have a measure for each and activity you do in your company, if you go for any company, and see where the bottleneck is there actually, and try to see how I can break this bottleneck, how to simplify the process, whether I can do some different alternative method to make the process very user friendly and it reduces the fatigue of the operator. Because if you see most of the activities in the operator level, the fatigue is more. So you have to concentrate on how I can reduce the fatigue of the operator and makes the process very simple. So a high feed cutter, I saw this is one of the thing. And second thing, if you see, we used to do tapping and all, right? For after drilling, we do taps. Now the technology is that we have thread milling and all. So using the CAM, we can do thread milling. It can be single point or double point, anything actually. But thread milling is very fast. Even it breaks, it won't affect the feature in the component. So thread milling introduced, and we came the philosophy called optimal strategies in the master CAM, which improves the productivity more than 30%. So I can have some technical session after maybe 1 or 2 months. So I can show all that what is the current latest trend in the CAM in the industries. So I can probably tell what are the current strategies of CAM and current cutters which are very productive are being introduced in our company because of the employee engagement and the culture of open communication. So we always encourage the people to give some feedbacks and ideas, and from that we'll improve. So continuous improvement has to be there if a company wants to be innovative. As I said, innovative in the sense it's not a disruptive innovation. It can be simple, small improvements. And even company recognizes the innovation which is already available in the market and it has been introduced to that company. So they used to tell first time in India, first time in our company, first time in the world. So they categorize the innovation in this thing. So innovation can be anything. So what is currently available strategies outside, you can implement inside. So such kind of freedom you have to work. So that freedom has to be there to do innovation in your company. So as I recommend each and every one student who are here, if you go to the training or if you go to any project work, if you go to any company at your initial phase of the career, see what is the bottleneck over there, speak to the people very frankly, don't have barriers of designation and all. You should be very close to your friends, and you should be ready to give shoulders whenever it's required. So that is the only thing with the teamwork you can do a lot of innovations. So that is my experience actually. And you should always have a dare to try in your always thinking. Try new things and have a dare to do it actually. So that requires a clarity of thought. So clarity of thought, what do you want to do actually? So you should not make a very vague statement. I had this is a problem. I'm going to solve it. You pen down your thoughts and come to a conclusion. How are you going to do it actually? It can be small thing or it can be a bigger thing. Just pen down what you're going to do, and you start to thinking it why it's happening. So you make it why analysis. You come to a solution, and you brainstorm with your people, the peers. So you get very good ideas to take it forward. So clarity thought of important, and you should have confidence in your thought. So when you get the confidence, when you do a lot of trials in your particular profile, and when you succeeded, you get a lot of confidence. Just try it actually, even in your college. Do some small project, and if you win the project, actually you'll have a lot of confidence to go forward actually. So such kind of small projects, please do in the college itself. So it can't be anything of a bigger project. You take small projects and do it actually. That will give a lot of confidence in you. So when you have the confidence by winning the projects, small things, you will have a lot of confidence to go forward, and you will have the clarity of thought of what you have to do. Because if you are failing, actually, that is your learning actually. So don't fear about your failure. That will be your learning actually. So a lot of learnings give you a confidence and for the success. And please do some of the trials, do things. And when you go to any company, see what is the bottleneck, where the people are having a lot of efforts, a lot of fatigue to do that operation. Consider the operation and think how you can solve that problem. And if you solve the problem, your image in the company will be very good. And the people respect you. And people believe you. People trust you. So as a leader, you should influence the people. And you should motivate the people to do the work in the right way. So that is a key thing it's required for the innovation. And you should, when you go to any company, just look around what is happening in your adjacent department, what they're doing, new things, and you can learn from others' mistakes also. So this is also one of kind of the learning you have to do. And when you do the things, actually, when you have the idea, don't have the mentality block of last time we did this one, so this is not possible. So this time it also is not possible. Last time you did actually in your thought process, there could be some mistake. So you can take what are the steps what you did in the last time also. So whatever the problem you are seeing, you see it as this is the new problem. You clear all your mind actually what has happened before. So see all the problem as if it's a new to me. So you should put that thought in your mind. This is new to me, so I don't know about what has happened before. Start from there. You'll get some answer for that. And if you speak about
possibilities, sir.
Yep.
Sorry to disturb. I am Dr. Jyotish from Computer Science Department.
Yes,
so
sir.
as we are interested with the guidance of our principal sir, Dr. Ravichandran sir, as well as our mechanical HOD, Dr. Jaykumar sir.
Okay.
We have a plan to have an interdiscipline of streams to be combined to develop a product or an idea.
Okay.
So can you able to suggest anything related to that? How the mechanical as well as the computer science department can able to have an interdiscipline of an students to be develop the society, especially in Tirunelveli district, sir?
You can do a lot of things actually. Now, the latest trend, what is happening is artificial intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence there and machine learning is there actually. So
yes,
these combine of things, artificial intelligence and machine learning is a backup of all the data, what it did actually, and gives you some clarity of thought in it actually. So such kind of activity you can do. And if you want to have very particular, give me some time, I'll think for it actually and come back to you actually, what can be. And we'll, you please share your number and we'll discuss on this and we'll come with a good problem solving actually on this.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sure. So we discussed about the leadership actually. So leadership is all about the carrying a people, influencing the people, and having the clarity of thought, everything actually. So you influence, inspire, and mentor the team members. There is a lot of difference between the leadership and the boss. So leadership is giving the command. When you, boss is gives the command. So if you see the leader, he gives the authority to do your work actually. He gives the full freedom for the others to do their work actually independently, and they'll guide it actually. So, and you should have a faith in your people. So whatever do you, and you should always have a eye on them, what they're doing actually, wherever they're going for some deviating from their process. It's your responsibility to take them towards their idea and towards the goal of the company. So clarity, thought, empathy, and resilience. If you speak about the empathy, now if you go to company, you'll be with a lot of things going in your mind. What to present to the boss, what is the project status, everything will be there. And each and every activity you do, you should have an empathy. Suppose other department person is coming to you for help actually. And most of the times we see when the company is very political, no, it's not my work actually, it's your work. You please go through the process, what is required. And if you have the empathy, in the sense, being in other shoes and see what is required for the benefit of the organization. So you should always have an empathy of the each and every person you're communicating with. How you can help them to make their life very simple. And the third important character in the leadership is resilience. How you bounce back when you have some failures in your process or project, and it should very easily bounce back from your problem. And you should see what is the parallel action. So when you have any project or a process you are working on, you should see what is the contingency plan. If I'm getting failed over here, how can take the parallel route to meet the target? So that is also is required. And so one of the project I can tell actually what we did actually. So for a PSC actually, engine we need to develop for each and every new engine. So once the design is done, we used to get the engine made from the casting. And if the casting is done, the critical process called the plateau honing. I think automobile guys and mechanical guys knows what is the plateau honing is. Plateau honing is a super finishing process where you get very super finish and with the oil gallery inside. So if you see the depth of the oil gallery is about only 3 microns actually. In 3 microns, we have 7 to 4 parameters which guides that process. If out of 4 parameters, even 1 parameter goes off, the job is rejected. That's a very critical process. So we always used to send the block to Germany or Australia to make the process full as per the design intent. For us, it takes around 16 to 20 weeks to deliver a project. So what we thought is, why can't we do this in-house? Because the honing is a very special process, super finishing process, and it calls for the SPM, that is special purpose machine. The machine is made only for this process. So apart from that, the machine can't do anything. So it does only the honing. That too, after a lot of trials and errors, design of experiments, that will be parameters will be freezed by the sub manufacturer, and he gives the parameter to us, and he delivers the tool. So what we thought is, why can't we break this process? Why can't we make it in-house? So what we did is actually, we made a honing tool which is used on a VMC machine, vertical machining center. So that machine is used for punch and dice machining. So on that machine, we want to implement the strategy. We started to brainstorm. So what are the things we need to do to make this process? So as you know, honing tool has some honing sticks actually, very fine-tuned honing sticks, where those process needs to be done. So with the adapter, we integrate the honing tool itself. What is the adapter used in a VMC machine holder? In that adapter, we made it integral, the honing tool, and we made the process. And we succeeded in the project in 3 months. So if you see the traditional honing process and all, for each and every 3 diameter range, you need to go for a new tool. The cost of the machine is about 2 crore, 3 crore rupees. The same strategies, what that machine do? The same strategy we implemented on the VMC, which is general purpose machine, in the cost of around 8 to 10 lakh rupees. Now, I can say very proudly, actually, maybe any diameter of the board, we can do the plateau honing in-house and reduce the project timeline from 16 to 2 weeks to 2 to 6 weeks. So this is possible unless we have the thought process, what can be done. So if we say, no, we don't have this capability in India, so let's go to outsource itself. So let's not waste our time. So if that is a process, this success would not been possible actually in our shop. So that taking the ideation, where you can find the innovative process to be done, that will save your resource time in your company. So that is important actually. So this is a very big project we did actually in our shop, and it has been appreciated even by top level management. So we are doing this in-house capability, and you need to go for our courses. This is one example. I can tell the second example what we did. If you see the rubber and all, rubber is not machinable because by virtue it is very soft. So you can't machine the rubber. What is the regular strategy is used in industries is they used to do cryogenic machining. What does it mean? So they used to give a very cool nitrogen liquid on the surface of the rubber to make it hard. So once the rubber is hard, then they used to machine very slowly. For that, you should have a very big setup of the cryogenic, then pump is required, then you should have tubings, everything. So we had one urgent project actually where we need to reduce the stiffness of the rubber to reduce the effort of the bonnet closing and opening. So what we did is actually we need to make a slot of a part. So that is the only thing. We tried a lot of times, it is not happening. So if you want to go for the cryogenic way, so it may go to 2 to 3 months project, but we need to deliver the product within a week's time. So we started brainstorm. So we involved all the operators, everyone. Then see what is happening in cryogenic machining. So that process started over there. What's happening in cryogenic machining? It's making the rubber hard. Okay, so what are the ways we can make the rubber hard? That process has been started. Then we come to know when we compress the rubber, it becomes hard. So that is also one strategy. So let's compress the rubber. Okay, right. So if you compress the rubber, what will happen to the shape of the rubber? So because it deforms, right? Once you try to compress, it deforms. So you can't maintain the accuracy what you want. So what you did is we made a cavity of the same shape of the rubber, put the rubber inside the cavity, and rubber was above some 3 to 4 mm top of that cavity. We put the top plate on it and compress it. Now the shape deformation is arrested now. Then we started to do the cutting using the end mill cutter. So another we face a problem actually, the end mill cutter being it is very sharp at the flutes, it starts to break or it just pulling out the rubber outside. So again we had a process what can be done. So we made chamfer on the cutters actually, on the cutting edges, and the cutting edge will be inside the flute actually, inside the face of the cutter. So if after doing this one, the chamfer holds the rubber at the same place and the cutter starts to cut. So it becomes very smooth. So then we machine the rubber within a 1 week time. If you want to do the same process, at least you require 2 months to go for the production supplier. Just do some modification in the rubber molding die and do it. So anything is possible if you have a very good approach with the teamwork. So teamwork is much, much more important in terms of innovation. If you say I'm going to innovate very unique way, I'm the only person who's going to innovate, I don't want any person to do, you can't do it. Innovation is a teamwork. Innovation will come with a lot of ideas, a lot of refinements, and what are the ideas before, and defining those ideas to take it forward in the better way. So that is the thing innovation does. And whenever you see any problem, you can't just solve a problem on the same level that was created. You have to raise it above the next level. These are words of Albert Einstein. So where the problem is created, in that same level, if you think what a solution you will not do, you will not have the answer to it. So you have to see one level above how we can do it. And most of the times you can see the industries, the solution of the problem does not exist in your field. The solution of problem exists in some other field. For an example, you are seeing the aircraft and all. So their problems may not be available in the aircraft industry itself. Somewhere in medical industry, the solution will be available. So such kind of cross-function team is working around the world as a part of innovation. They made a CFD team of different industries and they try to solve a problem. So this is one angle of industry as now what they're doing. And if you want to do something new, you have to stop doing same thing old. This is one of the quote from Mr. Peter. He says, if you want something new, you have to stop doing something old. So you should not think about the old process, what you're doing actually. You have to go a new process, new technology. Okay, so there is a technology because what is the technology available, how we can enhance the technology. That is the only way you can implement the innovation. There is a lot of difference between the creativity and the innovation. Creativity is like imagination, right? And innovation, how we are making that your goal to the market. It's like you are commercializing your product in the industry. So to commercialize the product, you require a technology. That is a new process. That is a link between the creativity, technology, and innovation. Right. Okay. So lastly, another quote I want to tell you: innovation is seeing what everybody has seen and thinking what nobody has thought. So this is the quote given by the Albert. So this is another quote, very good quote. So we are seeing the problem, same thing actually, but we need to see in different thought how it can be done. So thought process has to be changed when you see a problematic part and how to solve it. So all my students who are listening this session, so please be innovative in your career also. Innovation means need not to be a very, very big things actually. See simple things to make it simple to the people. So thank you very much for inviting me to the session. Thank you very much.
Sir, excuse me, sir. I have a doubt, sir.
Yep.
I am Tulsi Raman from Mechanical Department, final year, sir.
Yes.
Sir, said about special purpose mission, sir.
Yes, Tulsi Raman. Yes.
Could you explain more about that, sir? Because I have an idea in future about special purpose missions, sir. So could you explain?
Yes. Special purpose missions are mainly designed and developed for a specific process to make it productive. Suppose I have a general purpose machine. I want to do the combination of 3 to operations. It takes X factor of time, maybe around 1 hour. Special purpose machines are made to make that process very effective manner. So in the case of 1 hour, I can do the process in 5 minutes. So what are the process you are thinking? Only that much process can be done on the SPM. That is called special purpose machine. Only that machines are made to a purpose. So apart from that, it can't do. A combination of process can be done. Or I want to do only the grinding of the bar, only that much.
Okay, sir. Which will be more effective, sir? Special purpose mission or general purpose mission, sir?
Exactly. Excellent question. Now you are in R&D. Okay.
Yes, sir.
When you are in R&D, actually, you don't require the SPM machines, right? You require the flexible machines as much as possible. Because in R&D, you can't have, suppose I'm specializing some process. So I want SPM machine. In R&D, you can't have an n number of SPMs actually to do the process, right? So when you select a machine for R&D, the machine should be very flexible. So it can do any operation. Time is not the factor over there.
Okay, sir.
And we go for SPM, time is the factor.
Okay, sir.
Got it? Yes, that's the difference. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Sir, as a part of Arunai, sir, I have with the guidance of our. Can you hear me? Yeah, you can proceed. Sir, as a part of Arunai, with the guidance with our principal as well as with our Professor Jaykumar sir, we plan to have an incubation center or a pre-incubation center. So what kind of preliminary work we want to concentrate on other than the physical structure if you want to develop the incubation center in the institution level, sir?
There are a lot of things to be considered, my friend. So this needs to be discussed in a very big form. What is your thought process on it? How effective you want to do it? How much investment you want to do it? And what is the scope of that project that we need to discuss? So once it is done, we can have a lot of solution on it. So we'll have a discussion with your professor. Then I can guide you for do this activity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir. This is
Yes,
Kalma
yes,
from
Mr. Kal.
Mechanical Department.
Yes, Carl.
Yes, sir. You said about coding, right?
Yep.
Uh, can you please tell me how much important coding in our mechanical department, please?
You mean to say CNC, G code, M code, or mentioning some other thing?
No, sir. No, no. With that and also the softwares.
Okay, fine. Okay. Carl, actually, as I said, a lot of innovation happening in the CAD/CAM industries because what happens, right? People are seeing of the productivity and maximum material removal rate. So how fast you machine and how you're going to reduce your time. So that is a biggest challenge in industries. Software developers and the tool developers always work hand to hand. So software now tooling person is designing some tool for a purpose. Suppose if you see the principle of optic cut strategy and all, where the radial face of the cutter goes to metal to remove it only 10 to 15%, but it fly like anything actually. In the sense, if you see machining strategy and all, if I have a depth of cut of 2 mm, 3 mm, that is the usual procedure. If you go for the high feed anti-chutter cutters, anti-chutter, why the name came is you have the 4 flutes, right? If you see the cutter, any end mill cutter actually, these 4 flutes are equidistant. Okay, so when you do the cutting process, what it happens, right? It cuts the material in a particular frequency. So when the frequency matches, it gives a resonance, right? So that is called a sound what we get during the machining. This anti-chutter cutter, this angle is slightly varied, maybe 1 or 2 degrees. So that your frequency of the cutting varies. So you'll not be having much noise. And the helix angle is more in those cutters. And those cutters, very specifically, you can go more than the cut 2 times of the cutter diameter. Suppose you are using a cutter diameter of 10, you can go up to 20 mm depth of cut, and the width of the cutting will be 10% of your cutter diameter, and it goes very fast. So what I'm telling actually, what are the programming you are doing in your CNC machining has to capable to handle this state of strategy in the cutting. So tool manufacturer will inform to the CAM developer. He informs this is a strategy I'm going to adopt. So accordingly, you have to make the CAM strategies. So what he does actually, he makes a CAM strategy so that by the depth of cut will be more, and this reduction of width of the cut will be there, and gives much fast of feeding. So each and every cutter development calls for a different CAM programming strategies, and the coding is required to make the make it process very simple and faster. And when you ask about the G code and M code, you need not to memorize any M codes as of now actually, because CAM programming gives a lot of freedom to you to change it whatever you want. So you need not to even remember those codes. And other side of it, this is the category when you go for punch and die machining, and you are in shop floor working for a production, and if you want to do modification, you should be capable enough, you should be very sound in making the programs. That means you should know what is each and every M code and G codes, so that you make the modification in the controller itself, not going back to the CAM, make the program again, come to your shop and do the modification. So you should be very strong in your basics of G code and M codes, so that will be useful for you. It depends upon where you work. So in production environment, nobody is going to entertain going back to a CAM, make some modification, come again. So you should be capable to do your changes on the control itself. So this is very important. I'm telling the same thing. Even the CAM is capable to everything. You should know what CAM is doing actually. So each and every G code, M code, you should memorize it. What the purpose of each and every code. Did I answer your question, Carl?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, thank you, sir.
Is that a question, or my answer was very different?
Yes, yes. This is the question, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Sir,
Yes, thank you,
next 1 second, sir. So in point
Yes.
of job for us, which will be more effective part, sir? Manufacturing or design, or else testing, which will be more effective in future, sir, for us? A few words for that.
Yeah, Tulasi Raman. Actually, if you see the existing market opening outside for the job opening and all, you can't define yourself. I'm going to go for design and I'm going to go for only production and I'm going to only for testing. Whatever the job you are getting at the first level, please do join the job. Please don't wait for your profile to suit or your interest to suit. And if you want your interest to be fulfilled and you are very stubborn on your thing, be an entrepreneur. Start your company, own company with a little investment. You have the interest and you will definitely win the project and you will win the business. So please be flexible when you go to job profile and all. And more thing, when you are in initial phase, you can learn a lot actually. You'll be having ample time for the learning. Okay, need not to have the training from the company. So please don't see what the company does the training to me. You do learn on your own. You have a lot of things, platforms there in the website. You can go to YouTube to see what it is actually. Even I can suggest you guys actually before a lecturer comes to a college and teach about something, you can go to the YouTube and see what is in broad level the meaning of that subject. Maybe it can be differential. So how the differential works. So a lecturer can tell you 1 hour regarding the differential. You will not understand what is differential is unless you see it very visually. So go to those things actually, go to YouTube, you will understand what is differential is. So there are things which can't be taught very simply, that will come only on job training. And if you see the things on your own.
Yes, sir, definitely, sir. I used to do my own, sir, because for that only I asked about special purpose machine ideas, sir.
Oh, very
because
good.
I have interested in special purpose machine, sir.
Yeah, Tulsi Raman, if you have a special interest in the SPM and all, you please join some of the, there are a lot of companies there actually, you can go and join there. Don't, if you're getting very good job when you complete your studies, that is very good. If not, you can join as a trainer, as an apprentice trainee and learn the things. So these are the age you should hunt for the information. So each and every student has to hunt for the information. When you come to the college, you should be very sure when you move out of the college, I learned some physical thing which is related to my studies today. So such kind of thought process has to run in your mind. So what I learned today from a college, that is related to my my world or the surrounding to me or the engineering things which is around me. So that kind of information you should get. So this is the age you should hunt for the information. Okay, the information is always a wealth to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, sir.
Any questions?
Is there any questions, students? Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for your nice presentation and given a lot of inputs to our students.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your sparing your valuable time with us, sir.
I'm very thankful
sir,
to my
request,
friend.
If your time permits, you please if your time permits, please give you an opportunity to meet you directly to interact with the students, sir.
Sure, definitely, will do. And I'm also thankful to my friend actually, Ekambaram. So he's a very nice person actually, Ekambaram, having a lot of sense of humor and presence of mind. So he was asking me for the past 6 months actually to give some presentation in our group. And I was busy with a lot of projects, so I couldn't do it actually. So finally, it's my great opportunity or my pleasure to present the things in front of you. My special thanks to Ekambaram.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.